Yeah, once again, very good morning, all. Welcome to today's week sessions. Okay, anyways, we have 54 participants as of now. Let me check how many students have marked their attendance for today's session. Okay, 47 have marked attendance. Other students do mark your attendance in LMS. You'll have 15 minutes of time. Right. So in the previous sessions, we was discussing about classes and object, how to create classes, how to create objects, then how to access members of class using object. So maybe usage of period operator, dot operator, right? Then we went on with method declaration and how to call a method. Okay. Then we went on with static keyword, usage of static keyword, then followed with static variable, static method, static block. Okay. We have seen the default values which are being allocated, okay, by the compiler, etc. And we have also gone through some errors like word declaration, okay, all that. Then types of methods with return type, without return type. Okay. Okay, so in the first part of third unit, we are still left over with another two topics. The one topic is this keyword, and the other is about constructor. Okay, so we'll try to finish off those two concepts for today's session. Hope everything is fine from your end. Hope you're able to see my screen and you're able to hear my voice perfectly. Okay, right. So coming to this keyword, so we have completed super keyword, static keyword. We have this keyword. So what do you mean by this keyword, guys? So this is a reference variable that refers to the current object, current particular object. Okay. So in the previous sessions, we were looking at some examples. Okay. So this keyword is reference variable that refers to the current object, and of course, it is one among the keywords in our Java. So how do we use this keyword? What is the uses of this keyword? How important is it? Okay. So how difference you can observe in upcoming examples now. So usage of this keyword. So it is used to refer current class instance variables. Current class. Okay. This current class you have to remember. Okay. So this can be used to invoke current class constructor. It is used to invoke current class method also implicitly. It can be passed as an argument in method call also. It can be passed as an argument in constructor call. It can also be used to return the current class instance. See how many usages are there with this keyword. A lot of times when we go with project implementation, okay, so there you will come across this keyword importance. It will really help you out. So what is the major idea of using this is, the main purpose of using this keyword is to differentiate the formal parameters and data members of a class. I don't think I have to stress much on this formal parameters and members of class. So whenever formal parameters and data members of the class are similar, okay, then the ambiguity situation arises. Okay. Sir, if they are not similar, there is no problem at all. Okay. Without using this keyword, you can happily work. Okay. But when the formal parameters and data members of your method are similar, then JVM will be in an ambiguous situation. Now, which one should I consider? Okay. So in order to differentiate or in order to help JVM in that ambiguity situation or to differentiate between formal parameters and data members present in a particular class, we are going to work with this keyword. Okay. So two ways we can use this dot or this of. This is parenthesis. Okay. So this dot followed by data member. Okay, fine. So we'll just see a small example to make you precise over this, what exactly is happening when we look into it. Okay. I'll just take you to small example. So I have only one class here, employee class. Right. So I've written a class employee here, then followed by I've declared two variables, ID of integer type and name of string type. What is this, guys? What is this line? Come on. What is this line of code? Come on. You can type me in the chat box. What is this line of code? Employee of int ID string name. Perfect. Perfect, Shiva. Yes, Jahnavi. Okay. So it is not a method, it is a constructor. It's not your normal method, it's a constructor because the class name and method name is same here. Okay, right. Then in the constructor also I have two parameters. One is ID and the other is name, which is of intent string type. Okay. Then ID equal to ID, name equal to name. Then later I have written a method called show, which is a normal method. Then I'm trying to print your ID and followed by name. Okay. Then I've gone with my main method. Then I've created two objects, E1 and E2. Okay, where I'm trying to pass employee ID and name. Okay, maybe I'll just rename it as Ravi underscore RJKT Sai Tej underscore triple ID. Okay, fine. So this is the code, guys. Now tell me, what output are you expecting in this case? What output are you expecting in this case? When I compile and run this code, what is that you're expecting? Yes. You may just guess. When I say e1 dot show, this method would be called, right? Uh, so what values it is going to display? When I say e2 dot show, what values it is going to display? Come on. Okay. Java C employee employee dot Java. Perfectly compiled. Oh, something went wrong. Okay. Okay. Fine. Yes. Sorry. Okay. Compiled perfectly. Let us run this. Okay. So do you expect triple one Ravi underscore RGKT and triple 112 Saitej underscore RGKT as output? Or do you expect some default values? Okay. You're not able to guess the details. Okay. How come we are going to get the details? What is that? It has displayed as the default value 0 null 0 null. Why? Why it has displayed 0 null and 0 null? Come on guys, you have to answer me now. If you see here, the formal arguments and the instance variables of your class employee and the formal arguments present in your constructor are same. Okay, you understood? Now there is an ambiguity situation now. Okay, sir, how do we resolve this? Yes, we will resolve this by using this keyword. Okay, so now we are going to distinguish between local variables and instance variables. Okay, sir, how? Just very simple. Here I am going to make use of my this keyword, saying this dot id, this dot name. That's it. Okay, so when even object is called, I'm telling please refer to the current class instance variables. When E2 object is referred, E2 object is called, please refer to this object only. Very clearly I'm telling to my JVM. Getting my point, guys? Okay. Now let me save my program and let me compile and execute. Yes, perfectly compiled. Yeah. Is that clear? Is the concept clear, guys? You may check the output in the previous case before using this keyword. Okay, due to the ambiguity situation. Okay, now after using this keyword, just a slight difference. Okay, just we are instructing our JVM boss, please refer to current object. Okay, then again we are referring, please refer to current object. Okay, so we were just discussing that as the main purpose of your this keyword is to differentiate your formal parameters and data members of class. Okay, so when there are similar, then the ambiguity situation is going to rise. We are going to differentiate between formal parameters and data members of the class by proceeding with using this keyword. Is that clear, guys? Can we move forward? Yes? Come on. If everybody is fine, then I'll move forward. Okay, thank you. Yeah, here I would like to stress the difference between this keyword and super keyword. Okay, so super keyword is always pointing to the base class. Okay, anyways, in detail I'm going to discuss about super keyword in inheritance concept, but I just want to give you a variation here. Okay, super keyword it always pointing to the base class in the top level class. Okay, base class, derived class, parent class, child class. Okay, generalized class, specifies the class, right? Hmm. So super keyword is always pointing to the base class, scope will be outside the class. Okay, whereas in this keyword it is pointing to not base class, it is pointing to the current class. Okay, so scope is limited within the class features only. Understood, guys? So just want to take you over one more example. Okay. Employee underscore uh, know this. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So what is that output you're expecting in this case? Yes, guys. Will there be any problem or perfectly it is going to execute? Any, I mean, do you get default values or you'll get actual values? Okay. So everybody wants to go with, okay, you'll get details. Why? Why do we get details? Okay, first let me check whether you're right or wrong. Okay, Java C employee employee underscore know this dot Java. Something went wrong. Okay, actually constructor. So everybody wants to go with actual values. Okay, let's try. Perfect. Okay, you've got the details. You've got the actual values. Why did we use this keyword? Absolutely not required, right? Okay, because they are different. Okay, so if you see this example, we need not use this keyword. Why? Come on, guys. Because our parameter, in the sense formal arguments and the instance variables are different if you see here. Okay, so in this case, I don't think we have to use this keyword because there's no ambiguity situation at all. Okay, but in the previous case, we had ambiguity situation. That's the reason we have used this keyword. So we are insisting insisting on JVM, please refer to the current instance, current object. Okay, when I say this dot id, I'm referring to this e1 dot id, e1 dot name. When I say again e2, when I'm calling e2 object, I'm telling again this dot e2 dot id, e2 dot name. Is that clear, guys? Okay, right. So coming to our next concept, which is constructors in Java. Okay, very important concept, very easy concept. What is a constructor? Sir, constructor is a special type of method. Just now we have seen. Okay, in our example we have seen this is a constructor. Okay, but it's a method. Actually, it's a method first. Okay, as class name and method name is same, then we are telling it's a constructor. Okay, just a minute, guys. There is some uh, message in the chat box in line 16 and 17. Line 16 and 17. What, there is no employee class? Why it, okay. Yeah, this is something which I have also not. Just a minute, guys. How come this? Yeah, this nobody of us has observed this. Okay, we are actually creating object for employee. On what basis it is treating? That's what it is. It is taking some other values. It was not supposed to do that. Must ask us. It is. I think it is considering the previous one, previous class file, if I'm not wrong. Okay. Employee E1 is given again 11 RJKT, 12 triple IT. Just a minute, guys. Just a minute. Give me 1 second. Let us try in this way. Okay. This is employee.java. Okay, fine. Let me check once again. There is our file. Okay. Employee underscore know this dot java. Okay. Employee underscore know this. Still we are getting the same result. But object has to be created for this. Okay. How come it is taking same? Yes. Cannot find the symbol. Okay, now we actually I wanted this error to be displayed. I wantedly created this error. Anyways, just to make us ourselves precise over this. Okay, in this case we are getting error now, saying like cannot find. Let's see like employee. Okay, employee class is already there, so it is taking like that. Okay, I think it is taking previous one. Just a minute, guys. Why employee? Actually, to be open, it has to give us error in the previous case also. As Vijay Sinha was pointing out, it has to give error in the previous case. Here we have got result, but it was taking previous class, if I am not wrong. Because previously in this example we had employee, right? I think it was matching out with that. I'll do it, Vijay. Just a minute, guys. Java C. What is that? Employee. Employee underscore node this dot Java. Okay. Now is it clear, guys? Okay. So the file's name was matching, class names was matching previously. So it was taking that class directly. Okay, as it was in the same directory, Praveen. Okay, as both were on the desktop itself, so it was directly going with that class, right? You're getting my point, guys? So now we have got actual error. Okay. So now let us create object to this. So employee underscore know this. Okay. Employee underscore know this. Now let us check out. Okay, perfect, perfect. Still we are on track. Okay, here it is employee. Okay, uh, I didn't get you, Vijay. You said with method also we have to change, na sir? Yeah, that's what you're talking about this case here itself. Name of the method. Which method? I have show method here, Vijay. Okay, fine, Vijay. Yeah. So now we are getting actual errors. Okay, I'm happy that we have got errors. Previously we were just running it out. Okay, perfect. Hope we have resolved everything now. Our program compiled successfully now. Okay. Now let's run it. Now the output is clear. Is that okay? Fine. Thank you, Vijay. Or else we would have gone, okay, in the same manner. Fine, guys. Is it clear now? Can I move forward now? Hope you have understood what things we have done till now. Okay. So file names will matter a lot. Okay. So though there was mistake in our program, but still it was giving that result. Okay. So it was taking a previous class name. Okay. Right. So if you change the path also, we would have solved it. Like Praveen said, okay, if you have changed the path, I mean folder or maybe directly, you might have got the error in that case itself immediately. As we were running onto the same path, so we did not get any error in the previous case. Okay, right. Anyhow, thank you guys. So let's move on with the constructor. Okay. So constructor is a special type of method with the same name as the class name. Just now we have seen. So constructor will not have return type, not even void also. Okay. So it initializes the object which would assign the initial values. Understood why we have got 0 and null in the previous example? Understood, guys? It initializes the object with assigned with initial values. Initial values table we have seen in the previous class. Okay. So accordingly, string is occupying null and int is occupying 0. Constructor is called the moment we create an object. Okay. Moment an object is created in your program, immediately constructor is going to be called. Okay. Sir, what happens if I don't write a constructor? That's the question which is there again. I don't. In that case, your compiler is going to create a default constructor to you. Okay. Fine. So constructor is similar to a method that is used to initialize the instance variables. The sole purpose of the constructor is to initialize the instance variables. Okay. So syntax we have seen. Okay, it would be similar to a class name. Okay, but only thing you'll have this parenthesis. You may have with parameters or without parameters also. Okay. I mean the braces. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So we will directly go with different types of constructors. Like we'll have parameterized constructor and we'll have default constructor. Okay. The constructor may have or may not have parameters. Okay. So constructor with parameters is called parameterized constructor. Without parameters is called default constructor. So parameters are nothing but the variables to receive data from outside the constructor. Okay. So this is your parameterized constructor because you have two parameters, integer type. And please do remember, constructor do not return any value, not even void type also. Okay. When will the constructor get called, guys? Come on. Immediately the moment you create an instance object in your program, constructor is called. Okay, fine. So we're creating an object. If nothing is passed to the object, then what happens? In such case, the default constructor is called and executed. I'm answering all your questions, guys. Okay, fine. Yeah. So this table will give you complete precise story. Okay. So this is your normal class, right? So default values which are being assigned. Okay. Before using your constructor, default values are assigned for integer, float, character, string, boolean. Okay. So moment you are calling your constructor by giving some values, then those values are overwritten by those original values which you have passed through your constructor. Okay, guys. So two types we are going to see now. One is your default constructor. So in this case, it's a default constructor. Class name is student, constructor name. Okay. So we have created object of that particular class, student object. Okay. So here I have test class. Again, I have constructor called test. Okay. Which is a default constructor again. There's no parameters. There's no parameters here. So it's the default constructor. Later on, I want to display a value and then b value. Okay. You can trace these programs, guys. Then coming to your parameterized constructor. Here you're passing some parameters. Okay. So here you don't have any parameters, so it's a default constructor. Okay. There's no worry about it. Okay, everything will perfectly get executed. I have already executed and I've written all this document. Then parameterize the constructor. You're passing some parameters here. Right? So you can work with combinations also. Sir, can I have combinations? Yes, you can work. You can have multiple classes. Yeah. So here I have one more example rectangle class. Then I have constructor again. It's a parameterized constructor. Okay. Where I'm again trying to calculate the area of rectangle. Okay. So all these programs you can trace out, guys. So what happens in this case? Moment an object is created, okay, immediately your constructor is called. You're passing your parameters, values you're passing 20, 30. X value is 20, Y value is 30. X value copied onto length, Y value copied onto width. Later on, when I call obj dot rectangle area, then this method is going to call result equal to length into width. So 20 into 30 result will be copied onto here, and I'm going to display that result. Okay. Right. So there's one more example just to find uh, some. Okay. But here I've used default constructor. So directly here itself, I'm calculating that. Okay. Then one more example or parameterized constructor again. So all these combinations you can try out, guys. Anyhow, tomorrow I'll give you some case study questions over constructors, uh, static keyword, this keyword. Okay, we'll look into some problem solving tomorrow again. Okay. I'll give you some examples code. You must trace and you must tell me the result. Okay. Of course, similarly, it would be a quiz kind of only, but in session itself, I will handle those questions because those questions will help you out to make you comfortable on Saturday quiz. Okay. So I want you guys to take time and work on this constructors. In our previous programs also we have listed out. Okay. So try to observe the difference between your normal method and constructor, and in constructor, default constructor, parameterized constructor, right? And the last concept which we are left over for the day is command line arguments. I think we have already completed this command line arguments. We have seen a lot of examples over command line argument. So I'm not covering here. So in the previous sessions in Unit 2 itself, we have covered. Okay. So you could see the difference here. Okay. So how different you can display. So if I want some spacing, I want to display two values and give some spacing when you're giving a runtime. You have to give RGKT, okay, as input RGKT, space, then triple IP, okay, space buzzer. Then you'll be displaying in the next lines. If you don't do space, it will consider as single string only. Okay. So when you say args of 0, then args of 0, args of 1, args of 2, as it is array, string array. Okay, guys. So once again, the last week and this week, so what are concepts we have covered? I want you guys to be perfect because this week you will have a quiz, exclusive quiz on classes and objects. Okay. So we have done with defining a class, defining a method, creating objects, accessing class members, maybe data members or variables and methods. Then constructors, we have seen default constructor, parameterized constructor. Then static keyword importance we have seen with respect to static variable, static block, static method. Okay. Then nesting of methods. Okay. Then this keyword and then command line arguments. Okay. So it will not take much time to work on the examples. So take time, and week 3 and week 4, 5, 6 are continuous weeks which are there onto unit 3. So you have to start working onto your lab work also. So in tomorrow's session, I'll come up with some example programs or kind of case study kind of programs or test cases where you have to give me some spontaneous answers. Okay, we'll trace out and we'll see how differently they're working when we compile the codes, right? So tomorrow I'll let you know the timings, guys. Based on my review schedules, I'll come back to you with the time and I'll post in the group. So accordingly, be available. Probably we'll try to have sessions in the morning hours itself, so that you'll have your fresh mind. You can spend some time onto programming. So that's all for today's session, guys. Thank you all. Stay safe, stay connected. See you all in the next sessions. If you have any queries, please, you may post in the chat box, else we can leave for the day. Yeah, somebody have raised a hand. Somebody has some query. So if you have anything, you can just on your mic and you can answer me, else you can leave for the day, guys. You can join for the next sessions. You can also type in the chat box if you have any doubts. Thank you all. Thank you all.